What's going on, guys? It's your boy XQ420. Welcome y'all back. Another episode beyond the cube. Tonight, I've got the powerful, well, semi-powerful. He's been working hard today. Semi-powerful Corey Hughes. Corey,
That's me.
do you have anything left in the tank?
I don't know, man. We'll see. Just you talk, and I'll just smile. How's that?
Dear God Almighty, he took a dab. Look. I appreciate Corey. He said he's cut back on his drug use. He only does it when he's working. So I mean, that's pretty much all day. I mean, it's only take a hit when I'm working. So yeah, so that limits his intake. I don't know. I feel like you've gotten better. What do you think, Corey?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't care.
You feel, Okay, all right, that's fair enough. So, starting well, we hope everybody's doing good tonight, wherever you're watching us. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Yes, we still on Twitch. Surprisingly, we may not be after tonight, but we're still on Twitch.
You ever
Rumble as well.
You ever made any money on Twitch?
Who?
You ever made money on Twitch? I never made any money on Twitch.
No. It's almost impossible to make money on Twitch.
You got to have like a criteria to meet and stuff. And
I believe so. Matter of fact. I mean, how do you make money on Twitch? It's going to just tell you can't.
you got to be a partner, and you got to get X amount of views, and you got to have so many views over so much time, and there's like a formula. You got to jump through hoops.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff you got to do. Maybe sacrifice something to the nanny goat.
You got to sign a loyalty oath to Israel.
Yeah. Oh, do you have to do that? Okay.
I'm sure.
Here we go. Hey,
I don't doubt it.
Hey, AI Overview's got us some good ways right here that we can make money. Donations. All right, we know about that. Affiliate links. So I don't know if you've noticed this, but you probably don't have TikTok, but on TikTok they've got a bunch of women out there promoting this pure Himalayan something. I can't remember the name of it, but supposedly it's supposed to get your member right. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to do. Like it's supposed to give you that added stamina.
What?
Yeah. It's supposed to get you right.
Oh, okay.
It's almost like a powder form. They said, hey man, after my husband started taking this, boy, he really started, taking me to task. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what
Going to pound
It's like,
town.
ladies. Yeah. They said, so they're like, ladies, you need to get your man this stuff. And I don't know if all of them want that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if all of them want that kind of drama in their life.
You think?
They may or may not. Yeah, they may or may not. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I've seen, and actually every time I scroll through now, I see most people have some type of affiliate link up there. Like whatever they'll be talking, and they'll have an affiliate link right in there, and I'll be like, oh, okay, they got their link right up, and so you can advertise that way, and get people to purchase stuff that way. What else they say we can do up here? Sponsorships. That's difficult to come by.
So
Of course,
affiliate links work really well if you have a large following, because it just becomes a numbers game. If you have a standard audience that watches, if you get 10,000 views per video and you got an affiliate link, you will get one or two sales out of that 10,000 views. It's a statistical probability, and that's how all advertising runs, on knowing that they'll get X amount of people to convert, as they say.
Right. To convert. Yeah, so well, yeah, you're right. You're right on that. I was looking at, what was it? They got stuff up here, how to make money online, things of that nature. It's like, oh yeah, do an affiliate link. It's easy. I'm like, bruh. I mean, I don't know about it being easy. I mean, you
So
can do it, but
if you have a little bit of time and a little bit of money, and you understand how affiliate links work, and you can find a couple niches that are popular, you can kind of inject yourself into the zeitgeist of that thing, right? Like, let's just say today I wanted to launch online affiliate company that sold Jesus stuff, right? So I would go and set up my accounts. I'd link up all my PayPal and all that stuff. I'd set up a Twitter, which, you need a website and a Twitter. And basically, you can use various services to grow that Twitter in that Jesus community, right? Carve out your little niche in that Jesus community. And I'd say within like 3 months, you could start getting sales from that Jesus niche. You know what I mean? Just by hitting it and getting and growing a following organically over time, you will start getting those numbers. So it is and you can do that with pretty much anything, but you got to find a niche that's making a lot of money, and then you just kind of intrude on that little bit, right? So
so you got to find the hot product,
right? Find something that's hot that you can insert yourself, and then you become part of the background of where people see stuff online, they click on the link on Twitter, and then they go to it and they buy it. So you just got to find a good niche, and if you put enough time into that and enough effort, and you do the right things, and then start getting backlinks and learn how to grow your SEO on your website and stuff like that, you can make a good living. It just takes amount of time to actually do it. Over the years, I've learned how to make money in a whole bunch of different ways. And the one common thing around every single one of them is that none of them is easy. All of them takes a little bit of money and a whole lot of effort and patience. You know what I mean? For any online affiliate stuff to grow.
Oh yeah. Of course, with that. What else we got up here? Of course, it says YouTube. Post your Twitch content on your YouTube channel, so if you can grow that. Coaching. All right, you can offer coaching or sell a digital product. You ever did any coaching, Corey?
No. Here's the thing. I think people who offer coaching services are usually hacks, because if you're so good at the thing that you're doing that makes money easy, why aren't you just out making money easy instead of trying to teach me how to make money easy? So I never understood that. And like life coach,
giving you guidance,
you just talk. Well, if you're in like life coach, is that like you're just talking to rich retards? I mean, what's the deal with that? Who needs a life coach?
Well, I mean, hold on. We gotta figure out what is one. Okay, what is a life coach? Okay, here we go. Professional who helps people identify and achieve their goals and improve their lives. That's a life coach. I mean,
How do they do
this is
that?
what I'm hearing right now. I mean, well, I mean, through various things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me get it up on this other screen, so the people can see it, so we know what life coaching is. All right. Well, people make money doing this. Identify their goals. All right. Recognize obstacles. Draw from their motivations. Create plans to achieve their goals. Navigate challenges. Tap into their full potential. Become the best version of themselves, and feel happier and more stable.
You need
So
another
what you think
person to
about
do that?
What's that?
You need another person to do that for you?
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, this is to give you that boost you need. Some people need a boost. They need a bump in the ass.
How the fuck do people who can afford a life coach, how did they get where they were if they're that fucking retarded? That's what I don't like about rich people. You ever met rich people? A lot of them are just dumb motherfuckers who got in the right place at the right time. Seriously.
Well, we're gonna speak about that.
Oh,
We're
I
gonna speak
tripped and
about
fell,
that
and I fucking
later
opened a
on.
widget company, and next thing you know, widgets were everywhere, and so I made $1 billion. Like, I fucking heard so many stories like that. It's wild.
We're actually going. That's the topic. Even though the topic of this, did you brave the storm? There's a particular person during this recent storm that is garnering a lot of attention, and looks like is going to cash in on the back end of this as well. But we'll get to that later. But life coaching. How much does this cost? I mean, how much is a life
Oh,
coach?
it's got to be. If you got to ask, you can't afford it.
Oh, here we go per hour. You want to know this? Woo! Okay, between
Hold
$65
on
to
a second.
$125 per
Let
hour.
me no.
Uh-huh.
Let me make this clear. Anybody who can afford this
Uh-huh.
kind of money for a life coach, do you think they're going to go with the cheap life coach? No, there's no
Yeah, they're
such
gonna
thing.
go upper echelon.
They're
Okay,
going upper
so over
echelon.
$200 per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Over $200 per hour. The average is about 120. Okay, so
That's about
hey,
8,000 a
corporate
week.
life coaches. Okay.
Here's the thing, though, man. Like,
Okay.
if you're a fucking corporate guy, 8,000 a week ain't nothing. Like, you got to remember, a lot of the stuff that we look at these rich people spend their money on, and to them, it's literally like our pocket change. You know, to them.
Until they hit a rough patch and their wife divorces them, and then she takes 3/4 of the shit, and they end up living in a cot and broke as fuck. I mean, it just they give a buddy a loan for a business deal that goes sour, and all of a sudden you broke. But that shit can flip real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And here's the misconception is that people believe that they can stop working. I'm like, no. If they stop working, they fucked. You know what I'm saying? They need this influx of cash just as much as you need it because their lifestyles is that much more exorbitant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just all there is to it. So, life coach. Yeah. So obviously, this is not for broke folks. Which does beg the question, Corey. If you're this successful, what exactly is a life coach going to do for you? I guess just make you feel better about your success. Maybe
I don't know,
relationship
man.
area.
Maybe relationship, but these
Guys,
people at that level, they find new ways to squeeze money out of you that you could never imagine. You know.
yeah, this is true. This is true. I mean, so we got career development, relationships, personal growth. I always like that one. Personal growth. That didn't really mean anything. Business, parenting, and sexuality. On sexuality. How they gonna coach you on that?
I
I guess
don't
maybe if you're
know.
closeted, if you're in the closet,
Maybe that's the
and
guy
you
who.
need to get out of the
Well,
closet.
maybe that's the guy who connects you to those $10,000 a night hookers. Maybe your life coach is the guy who's really a pimp.
That's opening you up to a little bit of side shenanigans. Is that what you're telling
That's what
me?
I'm saying.
Oh, okay, okay. Speaking of some side shenanigans, Corey, uh, that article that you sent to me about the crotch cleavage, guys, have you heard of this? We got crotch cleavage. That's the new thing. All right, the moose knuckle is making a return. All right. Corey sent this to me earlier in the week, and we'll talk about. I got one as well. They said the bush is coming back as well, Corey.
Well,
Uh,
you can't.
that's what I heard.
Well, I want to see pictures of the combined moose knuckle with bush. That's what I want to see.
Okay, so here it is, guys. So-called fashion trend famed for showing off the physique of the female genitalia. All right. So I mean, this is it right here.
Has it
You see,
sparked? Has
the
it really
complete
sparked
imprint.
anger? See, they make these statements like it sparked anger among women. Has it really sparked anger? Are women sparked? I don't know about that.
I mean, it may be okay, but this is a Gen Z thing. Okay, and one thing I don't know if you noticed, of course, is bringing up basketball shoes. Uh, one thing that I don't know if you noticed. Well, you probably don't frequent the gym. I go to the gym, so every chick in the gym, they've got the form fitting stuff that pretty much, shows off their bonus hole. That's what they want to call it now, Corey. It's a bonus hole.
I don't buy
It's
that.
not a vagina.
That's some tranny shit.
Uh, well, I mean, well, Corey, that's what these the higher ups, the philosophers and PhD guys want us to call it
They
now.
can go to the
The bonus
gulag.
hole. Yeah.
They can kill rats in their cells for their food.
Yeah, but pretty much all of them are wearing this type of attire. Very form fitting. It shows the creases and the crevices, and they don't seem to be embarrassed about it. And I know that there's people out there, of course, are saying it's sparking anger in women. You've got men out there, whores and all. I say, look, bud,
Let's make this
y'all
really.
out there,
We gotta make this really
uh
clear.
huh,
This is absolutely, without question, grossly unacceptable above a certain body fat percentage for women. So it's got to be kept to the slim ones only. Like, we can tell when you're like 1% over, okay? It ain't going to work, no. So only the
uh huh.
super slim ones, like in that picture, can pull this off.
Okay, well, no, Corey, Corey. The biggins are getting in on it too.
I
Do we
don't.
got a biggin up here? No, she's thin. They got all the thin ones up here. Thin ones with the thigh gap. We got the biggins. The biggins are wearing them too. You know what I'm saying? It's body positivity, Corey.
I don't gonna hear a goddamn thing about that.
But we're still in that era. We're
No, we're
not leaving
not.
it. Well, I don't
No,
know.
we're not. It's because of people
Lizzo
like
is losing
you
weight.
keep keeping us there.
People like me.
Yeah, you just put us there, so you're keeping us there. So don't do that.
I didn't put us
You
anywhere.
just
That's
did.
where
Yes, you did. This era is
they
over.
said the.
Stop fucking making it linger.
What I was about to say, it may be turning on his head because Lizzo's actually losing weight. She's trimming down.
Yeah, I seen her with that pose in the gym. It was staged. I don't want to hear shit. She can be fat forever.
So, but she did another. It popped up on my Twitter feed, and somebody was like, good on Lizzo for losing weight. She looked like she might have dropped about 50 to 75 pounds. I mean, she's still a big girl. She's still got a ways to go. You know what I'm saying? But this may be a blow to all the body positivity movement out there. You know what I'm saying? And the beauty standards, Corey. This might be a blow. I mean, how you feel about that?
I don't know about that. So here's the thing that's pissing me off. So recently, I've been seeing these ads on TV for some stupid fucking medication. Okay, but I don't like what the implications are. So it's this older black lady in her 60s or so, and she's a little on the hefty side, and she goes, "I can't believe my whole life I had problems with my appetite, and now we're finding out that it's hormonal." And then they go off and talk about this fucking drug for a minute, and then they go back to this lady, and she goes, "It's a disease." The implication.
What's a disease?
The fact that she can't stop stuffing her fucking mouth. That's a disease. That's what the implication of this commercial is. And this drug is that they're now giving fat people a pass by saying it is a disease to have an appetite like this. And it's not your fault. That's what the point of this commercial was. It's not your fault that you're fat. It's a disease. Come get our drug. That was the point of the commercial. And Jesus, I was fucking livid. That is straight bullshit. Whoever made that commercial should go to prison.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, doesn't what the drug pretty much does is curb your appetite. I think that's what all of them does. Just makes it where you don't eat.
Yeah, hey, you know what?
And all that other stuff.
You know what happens when you stop fucking eating in general? You lose your appetite because your stomach shrinks. Okay, so just stop eating first. It's a chicken or the egg thing. You ain't got to take the drug to stop eating. Just stop eating, you fat fucks.
Well, Corey, it's not that simple.
Yeah, it is that simple. I used to be 265. I got pictures of me getting sworn in at the sheriff's office, and I was 265 plus my uniform shit. I had to have been 285 with all my belt and stuff. It was ridiculous. So, and I lost all that fucking weight, and I kept it off for 10 years. So I don't want to hear nothing about it. Fucking, you ain't gonna be taking no drugs to be losing no weight. Just stop stuffing your goddamn fucking face. There you go.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's fair enough. I'm right there with you. The side effects and stuff and of all those excess drugs, I don't think it's needed. And plus, it's kind of a get out of jail. Try to do like a get out of jail free card. But you can't get out of jail for free because I mean, eventually this comes back and haunts you. Are you going to take that stuff forever? Until your death? Probably not. Then when you get off of it, what's your habits? That's going to be the main thing. Are you going to be able to maintain past that and have healthy habits? And for most people, that's not the case. All right, because they had some additional outside help and they didn't never develop the discipline that they needed to keep the weight off. But Corey, they're saying that the women are reclaiming the camel toe. Okay. And saying that it should be considered a positive female attribute.
No, this is some Jewish scheme. I'm telling you, this is some nonsensical fucking plot. This is a sexual psyop whatever you want to call it. So
reclamation of the camel toe.
look,
From what was once lost.
this is ridiculous. She's just advertising that shit.
Telling you
This
what
is
they're
the
saying
dumbest
up here.
conversation I've had like in my life.
You sent me the article.
Yeah, but now I'm over it. So.
My goodness. You see, this is what we got, guys. This is what happens. Corey says, hey, man, look at this. I'm like, oh, shit. All right, we'll talk about it. Ah, damn. I don't know why I sent you that. You did it.
So, are there this I put in the same category as the article with that chick who's going to bang 600 dudes this year? You know who I'm talking about? That Australian chick.
Oh yeah.
This is a side hop, bro.
Annie Knight.
She said she fucked like 400 dudes already, and she has to have them on a schedule. I'm like, this is nonsense. She's lying. She's not.
She said that they got to fill out an application too.
Yeah, I don't buy any of this at all. Like,
they got to fill out an application. Okay, the application.
So
are you okay
she's
with
got
taking
us all
an
intrigued.
Men only.
We're all titillated. We're all titillated by this, and we're all, she's got us by the hook. She's got us hooked, and so, fucking no, I don't think so. Right? This is nobody's doing the camel toe. She's not fucking 600 dudes. Okay.
No, they are doing the camel toe.
Porn stars don't even fuck 600 dudes in a year, so I don't know what she's doing. It's a wasted money opportunity.
Well, she's an OnlyFans creator, so she's a personal contractor.
Is she fucking all these dudes on camera?
Maybe not.
My point being, this is a kind of sexual propaganda, is what this is. This is a sexual propaganda campaign, and I don't really understand the point, who it's directed at, why it's coming at us this way. I don't get it. It's just weird. It's weird because when you look at the historical sexual propaganda that they used, it was meant to stir up feelings and sentiments in the troops. It's not supposed to make the average American think that their country is full of whores. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the whole premise of it, actually. I mean, to be honest, I thought that was the premise. Well, I mean, okay. So, I mean, they were claiming that. They say Bush is coming back, too. Okay. We got Bush on the way back.
That's fine. That's good. I like that.
As well. Okay, so you're fine with that.
Fine with that.
There's a lot of guys out there. A lot of guys that are, oh my God. I'm like, bud, I mean, we are adults. I mean, calm down. You know what I'm saying? You mean you're going to turn it down after you gotten that far?
Well, hair keeps you, hair puts something between the two of you, and it prevents, STDs, which don't exist.
Prevents what?
Uh-huh. It keeps a barrier between you and the other person's shit. Mm-hmm. That's what it seems to be, therefore. So.
Corey. Chafing.
I don't hear nothing about chafing. Go fuck you. Chafing, go fuck yourself. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
Yeah, come on now. You've had chafing before.
And hair is irrelevant to the situation, so I think you're grasping, and whoever said that is some woke fucking nouveau scientist.
That is not that. Oh my goodness, Corey, it's not though. I'm trying to tell you, that's the premise of hair.
No, you got hair there to protect you from her pimply shit that you can't see as long as the hair's there. You see what I'm saying? It protects us in multiple ways. So that's my stance on it. Sometimes you don't want to see what's under there.
That's why you turn the lights out, Corey. You just feel your way around.
Well, hey, evolution didn't include the electric light bulb in its plan, so apologize for that.
This is true. And somebody said that the best way to do it, as far as with a woman, blindfold her. That way, that cuts off one of her senses. That way, she's able to get into the moment. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, that's crazy talk.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say that.
Women want to be able to look at you to make sure you're paying attention to her and not the TV or like looking at your phone. Trust me on that.
Look at your phone. You're sitting there like, oh yeah. You're looking at something else. You're like, all right, they scored a touchdown. Good. You know what I'm saying? You'd be looking at some streamer play a video game. You'd be like, damn, come on now. That'd be bad off. No, but that's literally what they said. That's spicing in the activities, Corey. We got to spicing them up. They said that if you start removing sensories, then that'll spice in the activities. You know what I'm saying? She's able to get into her body. Ladies out there, if any ladies, ladies, let Corey know something. Is this true? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I ain't doing it. Like the minute I go blindfold somebody, it's almost like, what you about to do to me? You know what I'm saying? I need to see what you gonna do. It's just like some people like into bondage and stuff. I'm like, it's just too much stuff that can go wrong. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
here's the thing. You got to get past the first major obstacle of everything, and that's how do you slip into the conversation the question, you didn't get that COVID vaccine, did you? Right? Because she might say
This is the first
yes.
date.
She might say yes, and you're just like, okay, great. Well, we're just going to be friends then.
Okay, yeah, okay, Corey, first date. Okay, first date. Where are you taking him?
Casa
If you take him
Bonita.
anywhere. Listen, Casa Bonita. My goodness, man. Okay, that's fair enough.
No, there's like two
Hold
or
on,
three
is it?
like super nice high end restaurants like right downtown here that I haven't been to yet. I want to check out. There's a place called Rare Italian that's got like a $30 plate of spaghetti, so it's got to be good, right?
$30?
There's a place here that's got a $80 steak, but then I heard that there's another place here that I don't even know where it's at, and you can't even go in there. You got to make a reservation and go like down a flight of stairs and take a right and give a guy a fucking code word, like all this stuff, and then you pay like,
Oh shit!
and then you'll pay like $100+ for a steak. So, yeah.
I mean, a guy I know, like he started talking to this girl right before Thanksgiving, which is a bad time. Okay, look, man, you gotta plan this thing out. Okay, that way you don't get burnt. All right, now I'm gonna put y'all on game. Okay, so it needs to be sometime in the middle of the year, away from any type of major holidays. Okay. Also, you need to kind of bring up when's your birthday. It needs to be away from the birthday. Okay. That way, you don't feel the pressures of having to produce some type of gift or event without knowing that this is going to turn into anything of note. Okay. But I believe that he made a mistake right out the gate. He took her to a place here I think it's called Duo Cafe. Um, it's so I hadn't even ever heard of it. Hell, I've been staying here for damn 20 years. I'm like, what the hell is that? And it was like, yeah, man, the Valentine's plate, they were $120 a plate. I was like, how long you been talking to her? He's like, a week. I was like, okay, that's a little steep to start off with, though. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta be able to hold out. Because Corey, here's a set of words that you don't want to hear later on in life. Okay, I remember when you used to. That's that's a death set of words. You know what I'm saying? I remember when you used to. Don't you remember the first day when you used to? I was like, oh shit.
Well,
You know what
here's
I'm
the
saying?
thing. Like, it appears to me, my experience in life is that relationships should last 3 to 5 years, and then you should part amicably. That's ideal. After 5 years, most people don't give a goddamn fuck about the other person. I've seen this time and time again. I've experienced it. And the only exceptions I would say is that when people are older, they stick around with people because it's easier than leaving. And that breeds resentment and misery and the dark side and all that stuff. So there you go. If you make it 5 years and you don't want to kill each other, I think you're doing okay.
Well, I must be doing all right. I've been for a decade. So I guess I'm doing decent. But she's also the only one I ever dated, so but she put in work early. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she put in work early. It was like, let me know, hey, I'm actually trying to stick around. So that's the main thing. You got to make sure that they're actually trying to stick around, and you'll know because They be doing shit for you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, if they ain't doing that for you, man, they don't like you that much. Okay. If you're one just doing all the things, you're not really getting any reciprocation, and they really ain't that into you.
Well, I just
So,
find that over the years, the couple that I would have stuck with over the years, would have the opportunity cost of other life experience was far too great. Like
just stay with them.
yeah, to stay with them, I would end up catering a lot to like their work, what they're doing. I would guarantee
Hmm.
you, I would have been stuck in fucking Florida and Sarasota. I promise you, I would have been stuck there, and I'd still be there, and I'd be fucking
Hmm.
miserable, having that thought, man, I wish I could have done this, right? So, but I've had a life where I don't
Oh,
regret.
okay.
I've had a life chock full of goddamn crazy killer experience that otherwise I would never would have had. You know what I mean? And so
Okay.
really
Okay.
there hasn't even been a thought in my head to really settle down in one place, much less,
Hmm.
with one person until recently, you know? And I'm almost
Okay.
goddamn 50.
So you've been like a free floater. You like floating from area to area.
Yeah, like my last girlfriend was Amy, and we were together for years, but she was the alcoholic and she cost me my career, right? So that was all that drama and trauma attached to
Oh,
that,
gotcha, gotcha,
And then
gotcha. Okay.
even after we split, I moved to Colorado, really in part to get away from the situation. And like a
Hmm.
dumb fuck, a year later, she was out on the street again, and I brought her out to Colorado, and she wrecked my life all over again, right? And so
Mm.
I got a bad taste in my mouth from
Okay.
from from
Okay.
from
From that
that,
experience,
yeah, and
I can understand that. I can understand that. A swing and a miss. You know what I'm saying? That can make you sour on any type of situation. So I got you on that. I got you on that. That's unfortunate, Corey.
and sex
Hey,
and
look,
crazy
I'm
drugs in
gonna.
Las Vegas for a couple years was a good remedy to forget about all that stuff. But that gets old too. You know,
Oh, does it?
everybody needs to go to Vegas for a couple years and do a lot of drugs and get laid a lot. Like it's really like a life altering experience.
And then you'd be like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this now. I said, let me try to hunker back down. You know what I'm saying? Well, I feel like that would hit the pockets pretty hard. That's what I feel like.
Not when you live there.
Oh, okay,
Mm-mm.
okay. You get a hometown discount.
Oh yeah, it's not bad at all. If you live in Vegas, you can party there fucking ultra cheap.
Oh, okay,
Even
okay.
today,
I did
even
not know
today.
that. Huh. Huh. So really, well, I would assume that they would want locals to come in as well. So they probably
You get free
cater to the
tickets.
locals
You
a
can
little bit
basically
more,
get free
right?
tickets to any shows you want. I mean, not the super AAA, fucking not
Hmm.
Adele, and like not Fish, right? But
Right.
I know for a fact they were giving away. So there's a lot of programs out there if you live there and have a local driver license that you can get tickets to all these different shows for free because they need to keep every show full. Every show has to be full to maintain the image to the visitors that it's always full. So the
Gotcha.
overflow seats
Gotcha.
the overflow seats, there's multiple companies that deal in distribution of overflow tickets. And so it was amazing. I seen in 2 years, I went to a couple hundred shows in Vegas. It was wild. It was wild.
Hmm.
So, and
Hmm.
they
Okay.
got the strip
Okay.
cabaret. They have the classy strip cabarets, the chicks with the feathers and the tits hanging out. Like, still, that stuff's
Oh, okay.
just
Okay.
like,
Upscale.
just like the old
Upscale.
50s and 60s mob stuff. So there's some remnants of that. No, it's a great place. I'm gonna
Hmm.
end up back there again sometime.
Oh, living in that apartment building that we showed a few episodes ago. That one that's
The slanted one.
yeah. The slanted one.
Yeah.
The one was about what was it, about 3 G's a month.
Yeah, about 3G. That's not bad though. 3Gs a month to live on the strip. That's really not bad at all.
Oh, that's a good price.
That's a real good price. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Guys, anybody live on the strip out there?
because you ain't
Let
gotta be
us know.
super rich to pretend you're rich. You really don't. You can make 100 grand and
Well,
act like you make like 10 million. Like seriously.
I guess that is true. You do have a good point there. There's a lot of people who try to fake it till they make it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, and I think you see that in a lot of these high affluent areas, your Miami's,
Yeah.
Las Vegas, where people they'll go and they'll rent a Lambo. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
Like,
right.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, that, yeah, it's like, oh man, that dude's got it, bud. He's got it. And then come to find out, he really ain't got nothing. He renting that thing for the
I
weekend.
mean, realistically, like one of my last things I want to do, and I see myself kind of doing this when I get older, post 55 and retirement age, is I want to fucking be one of those fucking cowboy hat wearing fucking Vegas fucking card sharks. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. I want to learn to be a real gambler out there. So that's my retirement plan, to make like $1 million a year playing poker and blackjack. So I'm mentally preparing myself for that transition in a couple of years.
No, okay, okay. Poker and are you avid at that? Poker, blackjack?
Um, when I was out there, I did some
Mm-hmm.
blackjack, but I did more of the machines. They got these automated machines, and I did a lot of craps and roulette, stuff like that. But I want to get more into the poker side of things.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm not good at cards at all. So I don't know something about the gambling nature.
Well, see, when you do it right and you know what
Uh
you're doing, you're not really
huh.
gambling. It's more,
Okay.
it's less gambling and more strategic outcomes. You know what I mean? So,
Okay. Okay. How much have you ever won? Okay, so you were out there. How much have you ever won in one sit?
um, I think the most I ever did was about
Your highest one. Yeah.
5 to 600. Not much, five to six
Okay.
hundred bucks. So, but I've had
Okay.
a ton of like, I got my money back, and I lost 100, but then I got it back and won like $20, right? So that's the vast majority of my experience. You go and you spend a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
money, but I've found that statistically, if you like play the slots, like there's a couple, the quick hit slots, there's a whole series of those. Those are like the generic baseline slots in every casino, and I'm pretty sure that there's a formula. And if you have like, say you drop $1,000 into it and you do max
Mm-hmm.
bets, at some point in time you will get ahead of where you started. So I think
Okay.
it's just a matter of playing longer enough and just sticking with being consistent. And like I said, if you drop $1,000 in and you just keep doing max bets of like $5 or $10 a piece, at some point in time you will hit something that brings you back over what you initially put in, right? So if you can operate under that strategy with slot machines in particular, you can do okay. And for the amount of money I've put into a slot machine, I feel like I got at least, I didn't lose it all. I at least got like 80% of it back, So at the end of the day, the house always wins, right? But there's just
Mm-hmm.
something about but going to the casino also, again, is like that. It's like a high. It really is. And it's
Okay.
not just the gambling itself. If you did the
It's
same,
the atmosphere.
right,
It's
it's
the
the
whole
atmosphere,
atmosphere,
the
right?
whole thing. Like if you put a slot machine in a dark fucking alley, I mean, it's not going to be a good experience. But when you got everyone else
Mm-hmm.
around you, there's like a feeling of excitement in the air. It's
You got
completely
chicks walking around with drinks,
yeah, it's
all that
artificial.
stuff.
They
Yeah.
make you feel special. You're a nobody and they
Mm-hmm.
make you feel special, right? So that's the whole point of it. As they're taking your money away, they're greasing you, right? And so it's really a phenomenal
So you're getting
experience.
greased. I see you getting greased out there. You know what I'm saying? No diddy. I mean, that's what we got to say now. No diddy. You getting greased? No diddy.
Yeah, if anyone out there's in Vegas,
Okay.
let me come and stay with you.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. There you go. Hey, invite Corey out there so he can hang out with you. Go to the slot machine. Get right. Corey, I got a picture to show you of a former leader of the Black Lives Matter in the greater Atlanta area. Okay, he looks like he's been sent to prison, and I think this is what you've been talking about. Um, and I said we were going to talk about these skin colors out here, but look at this gentleman right here. Looks like he's being sent to prison, found guilty of misusing donations received following George Floyd's death. But this is what you were talking about, Corey. One black ancestor.
Well, no.
You know what
I
I'm
think he
saying?
is an albino.
Is he truly
I
albino?
think he's an albino one. Mm-hmm.
Come on now. I mean, is this one albino too?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But that other one, I think, is albino.
He may be albino, but it kind of reminded, harking back to what you were saying, the one black ancestor. And I actually had Charleston White. He was speaking to a young lady from Canada about the only place you can find niggas in the world. There's only one place you find them. Let me
One.
pull his clip up. I thought it was pretty good. Here we go, right here. Let me let this play out.
Oh, I'm already rich, my nigga. I don't need to sub people up.
They got niggas in Canada.
Duh. There's niggas everywhere. You should know that.
I'm not. No, it ain't. No, there ain't niggas everywhere. Niggas come from America. The word niggas come from America. Niggas got nappy hair. Niggas eat pork chops. No, niggas everywhere. Now you got that confused, Miss Lady. And you ain't no nigga. Now you just using the word nigga, but you ain't no nigga.
I'm
and
a
you
real
can't
ass nigga.
that word. Man, you can't my nigga me to death, and you ain't no nigga.
I'm a real ass nigga.
You ain't no motherfucking nigga. You a wanna be nigga. You don't know nothing about being. You don't know nothing about being no nigga.
I just
You
told
can't
you I'm a
sit.
real
You
ass
can't call
nigga.
yourself. You can't
I've
sit
been a
down.
real ass nigga.
You can't sit down with your grandmama and them and say you a nigga. I can.
With what? Sit down
With
with
your
who?
family. You can't be a nigga with your family.
Are
And you don't. And you don't. And
My
now
family knows who I
only
am.
way you can
No,
be
I
a
don't act
nigga.
different with
No.
my family.
Listen. Only way you can be a nigga, you got to reject your family's teaching. Cause all niggas reject their family's teaching.
What does that mean?
This nigga
We don't read nothing our parents taught us. We don't value education. We don't value working hard. Now, that's the nigga. She wanna be an uneducated, miseducated woman. Man, you got privilege. And you
I'm educated.
Man, you ain't no real niggas in Toronto. Man, that them free slaves.
How dare you? How dare you? Come to Toronto then. Come to Toronto, pussy. Come to Toronto. How dare you? How dare you say there's no real niggas in Toronto? Are you fucking dumb?
The niggas
You're
never
fucking
made it
out of
off
your
the
mind?
plantation. You up there with them free niggas. Them niggas got away from slavery. The niggas never got away from slavery. What the hell is you talking about, girl? You don't even know nothing about
You're not educated about Canada then. You're not educated
You
about
don't know
Canada.
nothing about no nigga can't talk back to no white person. You talking
Everyone
back to
knows
white
American
man.
education is the worst education. So I don't know why the fuck you're talking like you're fucking educated. You're not fucking educated.
Man, shut your motherfucking ass up. You just talking.
Come to
Stand 2
Toronto.
days to
Come.
be a nigga.
Come to Toronto.
You couldn't stand 2 days to be a nigga. I done got mad with this wannabe nigga. What is you in real life? Asian? You Asian descent?
No.
You ain't no
That's
motherfucking nigga. When last time you done gave a nigga some pussy?
What?
That's how you know if you're a nigga. When last time you done give a big dick nigga some pussy? That's how you know you nigga. Cause niggas fuck niggas.
Ew.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't talk to me. Don't the man niggas love niggas. If you talking about niggas fuck
Oh man,
Is she
that's
trying?
good.
Is she cultural appropriating? Is that what she's doing?
I believe so.
She did
I
look
believe
Asian
so.
as
And that's,
fuck.
yeah, Asian, maybe a little Latin American, maybe.
So let's make this like pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
The lighter skinned people come from the areas of the Caucasus Mountains and the areas north of that. Even like the Chinese are very lighter, because of the region out there. And Japanese, there were some dark Japanese. I don't know if there still are, but there was some pretty dark ass Japanese.
With like leather skin,
Yeah,
like Indians, like the Native Americans,
right,
quote unquote.
But it's pretty funny because like you can tell what somebody is mostly by their face, their bone structure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just skin color. It's a lot of factors. It's the shape of the lips, the shape of the nose, the shape of the cheekbones, the chin, the jawline, right? I mean, like around the world, there is a huge spectrum of this. And it's we figured out 100 years ago where each of these varied bone structures and appearances come from, right? Some cultures have a very flat face. Some have a very round face. You know, the shape of the skull is different. I would go as far as to say it's kind of crazy to think that all of us on planet Earth are of the very same species. I mean, we have enough differences, I think, to classify us as different, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. And so it just appears that's how it is. So when people come out and they're like white as fuck, and they're like, we're from Africa, it's like,
what about the Egyptians? Now, okay, so Egyptians. Oh, let me see. Let me pull up an Egyptian. Now, they almost look they African. Well, they in Africa, but they almost look Arab.
Yes. So I know that in that region, over the last couple thousand years, there have been many migrations, but I'm not too up on those migrations. So the further north you went, the lighter skinned the people. People from Morocco are the same, very light skinned. So the Egyptians, when they allegedly were building the pyramids like 3,500 years ago or whatever it was, their slaves were darker. It seems like slaves are always darker than the people who held them. Up until the Barbary pirates, and I need to do some research on the Barbary pirates, but the Barbary pirates were dark-skinned Muslims who enslaved Europeans. So I don't know how that worked. Probably didn't make the best slaves. So
Make the best. I would guess not.
I wouldn't think
but
so.
I mean, but
I just picture a bunch of lazy white people going, "Really? You want me to do what?"
Damn, man. Do you think it'd be just like that?
I probably not, and I'm probably totally ignorant. But like, that's
They're lazy. Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's just like, you gonna do it? No, I'm not. It'd be just like that. But yeah, so like when I see somebody who is Egyptian, like I kind of like, you look at him like, man, you look like you're probably from around the Egypt area. You know what I'm saying? They even have a more distinct look than people who are like from Saudi Arabia, Iran. Even though we've got sometimes we've got darker skin color and things of that nature, the Egyptians almost have they're not white, but they're like an off-white.
So one thing that was pointed out to me in the book Undeniable by Dante Fortson, which focused on proving the point of the book was to prove that the Israelites were black sub-Saharan Africans, right? That was the point of his book. And I think he makes a damn good assessment. I think he only points out part of the story because the land of Canaan and the original land of Israel was much bigger than people really think, because it stretched from the Sahara all the way into Iran, you know what I mean? All through the Middle East, right? So it was a huge, huge piece of land, and that encompassed a lot of different cultures and people, right? So, but he talks about how not only the Bible talks about a ruddy people, and he talks about ruddy, when we think of ruddy people today, we think of people who have like maybe a darker complexion, or people with like freckles, or just, something along those lines. But ruddy, he points out, from comparing the descriptions of various people to biblical text, he shows that ruddy really meant red back in the day. And he shows how there were tribes in Egypt who had a redder skin, whose skin was more red than it was brown or black. You know what I mean? It was an Egyptian red skin. And he was making the point that those were the ruddy people who were described in the Bible. And when you look at some of the initial paintings of Egyptians and their slaves, the slaves are depicted as dark, and the Egyptians are depicted with a red skin. So there's a possibility that those Egyptians were considered the ruddy people back then.
Okay. And so if they were considered ruddy people back then, where do you think that they dispersed because they don't look as red now.
No, you're absolutely correct. I think there still are some tribes.
Mhm.
He had some pictures of modern day tribes of these red people
Oh,
who are
okay.
still around, but they're not a major ethnic faction in Egypt. So
Okay.
it's really weird. In that region, you have a kind of, it goes from black sub-Saharan Africans into lighter skinned people as it moves north through Africa.
Mhm.
Then as you shift over into the Middle East, you have more like of this darker olive complexion people. But then again, you also have black Arabs, so who are known to have populated in Iran. But then again, in Iran, you have a lot of the Persian people who are of a lighter, almost white skin, right? So it's a really complex. The history of this region, like stretching from North Africa to the Middle East, is complex as fuck. And who the fuck knows, like, what's going on there?
Yeah, so it is a little interesting. I guess it kind of defeats the white people moved up north, or black people moved up north and became white.
It is a kind of a
You know what I'm
fucking.
saying?
I think that story's kind of bunk.
Yeah. I'm not even sure who came up with that and try to put it out there in the ether. I was just like,
well, they keep shifting around the
mean,
origins of man. I mean, originally it was Africa, then it was the Mediterranean, and before you know it, some Jew's gonna rewrite history and say it's fucking the promised land. So
Canaan technically was promised land, right? If we go biblical.
Well, Canaan is the old Israel, and the old Israel is Zion, and Zion is the home of the 13 tribes. But all those old texts don't really give a specific, they don't outline a specific, this is the land of Israel. A lot of people have tried to like look at descriptions of various mountains and things that are in the Bible to try to determine where's what, and nobody has a fucking clue. People forget, like, that Bible is all fiction. It's just stories. There's no truth to any of it. There might be some similarities to real history at times, but none of it is true. None of those people were real. There was no Jesus. There was no Moses. These are all, as what's his name? Richard Carrier, who wrote the book on the historicity of Jesus, points out that thousands of years ago, in some of these old ancient scrolls that they find, they talk about these like celestial beings with names that we're familiar with, right? Like Moses and Jesus and stuff like that, that many, many thousands of years later, through a process called euhemerism, these mythologies turned into what some people believe are actual histories, right? So the evidence for this is pretty abundant, but because none of these people, Moses wasn't real, none of his kids were real, so all the stories about the 12 tribes it's not real. It's all fiction, right? So, but hey, I understand the need for this stuff. I understand the need for why people have to have belief in, things and legends and stories. But it seems like in the modern era, we're kind of outgrowing the need to depend on a lot of these crutches that we used in our evolution. You know what I mean?
Well, the main thing is the belief that there's hope of a life past this life.
Yeah, and going back thousands of years, they all believed in an afterlife. Like the Egyptians, especially, and like every one of these cultures, I think, except, I don't know if Judaism has an afterlife. I don't think they do. They don't believe in a heaven and hell. Like, I think they're a get it now while you can, and then you're toast kind of. I think, but they're the only ones. I think every other culture,
Buddhism is a reincarnation, right?
Right.
Isn't it Buddhism?
Right. It's like you never die. You constantly just recycle, right? But you can't. You don't take your memories with you, but your soul does. But that's
right.
I just don't think we understand the difference between the individual soul and the larger scale systems that we fit into, right? I think that's the biggest problem with that everyone has, and is the fundamental problem with all religions, is that we can't seem to accept the fact that the individual perhaps is not as meaningful as we would like it to be, right? The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And when you look around at life and how so much life has been just churned up and seemingly recycled, right? Especially in ecosystems with animals and cycles of life and food chains, right? Like, it's just life eats itself constantly to survive. You know what I mean? So that kind of takes away from the notion that individual life has much spiritual, large-scale meaning. You know what I mean? But so then how do you justify this consciousness we carry around with us? How do we meld that into an idea or a concept or a system or a theory of a system involving other people having that same consciousness, right? So I don't think we have an individual consciousness at all. To me, the concept is kind of ridiculous. To me, consciousness is kind of like those bumper cars they got the fucking pole with the hook on it that touches the ceiling, right? And the ceiling pumps the electricity down the pole and makes the car run, right? All of us are touching the pole, man. All of us have a pole that's touching this thing, right? And that's the soul. It flows through us like electricity. And so I don't believe in the individual soul at all. Not even remotely close. The thing is, fucking.
You believe in the collective soul.
Ultimately,
okay.
Right? Like, we share the same thing. The only thing that's different is our past experiences, which are genetic and environmental, right? So beyond that, yes, the same form of energy structure, is there. All of us are looking at it different eyes. It's like one being, right? One entity. So a fractured, shared soul, kind of. I think it's evident in dogs. Like, I've had dogs my whole life, and half of my, it's always seeming like, to a degree, it's the same dog staring back at me the whole time, right? And so, I think that's another experience dog owners might understand. But yeah, I don't think it's that's my take on it.
Okay, I mean, philosophical.
That advice is free.
Yeah, I like
just so you know.
Yeah, was that right? This is just to let you know. My goodness. So yeah. So we just went a little deep on y'all. That's okay. Every once in a while, we got something intellectual for you. Corey, I wanted to talk about this briefly before we move into the final topic. The Kamala Harris went on the Call Her Daddy podcast last week.
The bitch is retarded, and that show is stupid.
Yeah.
Whoever is pushing... Okay, so here's the deal. Whoever's pushing Kamala's campaign and running the shit is a moron. So what happened... Let me explain this. In 2000... What year did fucking Barack Obama get in there? 2006, right?
No, 8.
8, okay. Obama's 2008. Yeah. He got in there because he did something that no one had ever done before. He actually had people in place who knew how to and took advantage of the burgeoning social media platforms and platforms like YouTube, and they really got the message out to a younger audience via these new up and coming platforms. That's how Barack Obama fucking won. They did what was hip. However, 2024, what is hip has been grossly infected by the woke mind virus, and now it's all trash. Modern pop culture and modern, that same systems that they're attempting to tap, that Obama tapped in 2008, are in the modern era complete and total fucking cultural dog shit. Therefore, they will not have the impact that Obama's use of the new cultural, technological improvements of the day, right? So, does that say "Welcome to Slut Camp"?
Yeah, you don't think this is the Call Her Daddy podcast? You don't think this will work right
Kamala
here?
went on that show.
Welcome to
here.
Slut Camp. I fucking am. We are teaching sluts how to pretend they are prudes. You need to go in there, and you are not giving your grade A ++ stripper game on his dick. You can give him a great performance, but don't be like, cream pie my pussy, and like, let's invite a girl over here so you can cream pie her, and then I can lick it out of her, and then we make out with your cum, and like,
stop. Sophia,
just blacked out. I want you to cream by my pussy, and I want to lick it out of your pussy. Wait, your dick, my pussy, her pussy. Somehow there's a third girl in here, and all of a sudden it's an orgy. Some of you have been fucked from the womb. Your name fucked you forever is what we're trying to say. Vanessa, Amber, Megan, Stacy. How about Cindy? I do not trust a Cindy. Cindy twirls around and flops down on 2 dicks at a time. If you really want to play up this whole like angel act and come off innocent, the allure is from your eagerness and your willingness to learn from him. And I know all of you sluts are like, I don't need to fucking learn shit from this bitch. Let me explain.
Yeah, just let you know, she got a $60 million contract from Spotify
for a year or 5 years. That's a 5-year deal.
3 years, 3-year deal, $20 million a year. When she left Barstool,
that is the female equivalent of "Ow my balls." Have you seen "Ow my balls" before?
I hadn't seen that one.
"Ow my balls" is the TV show in Idiocracy.
Oh, is it?
Yes, it is.
I've seen that movie. It's been so long since I've seen it.
"Ow my balls." So that is what we just watched. The modern equivalent of "Ow
That's
my
what
balls."
Kamala went on.
Yeah.
That's what, while folks were drowning in Asheville,
Mm-hmm.
like she was on that podcast doing that. And they had the question up there, Corey, is there a law out there that gives the government any type of rights over a man's body? And Kamala was like, no. Except she forgot to draft.
Well, let's put that aside for a second, okay? DHS or fucking CIA or the NSA will at any time kick in your front fucking door without a warrant and disappear you forever. So that happens. Okay? So yes, that is always on the table.
Yeah, this is true. But I just thought it was like, there's been like millions of men who got sent to war to die, and they didn't want to go there, and die in like Vietnam and Korea and the beaches of Normandy, all that stuff. And of course it's poor people. If you're rich, you can just pay your way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of the gangs of New York. They were like, you need to fight for your country, or you can pay us $100 and then you ain't got to fight. Well, $100 back in whenever the hell that was.
That's like $10,000.
Somebody said $100. You know what I'm saying? So that was an ultimatum at that point in time. And so I was like, well, you just kind of dropped the ball.
Here's the thing.
You know
in our modern day army, like if you're getting drafted and you're out in the battlefield and you stub your toe, they will fucking remove you from battle and put you in the hospital and nurse you back to health. And you could probably apply for some kind of discharge. But back then, you could take a bullet to the goddamn face and you're getting back out there, soldier. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, this is true. Yeah,
I only got one leg, 2 toes, and 6 fingers, and no jaw, and I got to go back out there. Yes, right.
Yeah, do this for God and country. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was, for God and country. So she did that. She went on there. That was a travesty. And then she went on The View a few days later, and they asked her. It was like, Sonny asked her. She said, is there anything that you would have done different over these past 4 years than Joe Biden? And she says, well, nothing comes to mind. And I was a part of a lot of decisions that made an impact on the United States. I was like...
So, this isn't even the worst part, man.
You know what I'm saying?
This isn't even the worst part, okay? This is not even the worst, all right? This bitch...
Give us the worst.
This bitch got a fucking do-over, and she got asked that exact same question a second time on Colbert. Wasn't it Colbert? Where they're drinking Miller High Life?
Yeah, that is.
They gave this bitch a second chance to answer the same question because of the out fucking rage. And she dropped the ball again. She didn't say shit again. She said, "Well, I'm not Joe Biden," and that was it. It was like, what are you talking about? She didn't have an answer planned. It's like they didn't tell her they'd be asking that same question, and of course the dumb bitch didn't think about it the entire time. So it was truly unfucking believable. This person, let me make this clear. If she's elected, it's because they stole this election.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like this should be like a slam dunk,
Mm-hmm.
like a blowout slam dunk. Like you don't even need to look at the presidential race that day. Slam dunk. I mean, that's how pathetic this is. She also got up there and she was like on the 60 Minutes, which they did some recon on some of her answers and edited some of the stuff, which is they've been called out on that shenanigans. But she got up there and said, "It's like, yeah, people have to earn their position. You can't just be nominated for a position without putting in the prior work to get it." I was like, you know that's what happened with you, right? I'm, I'm like when you answer these questions, and anybody who's got a competent mind, they would be like, "There's no way in hell she can lead a fucking kitchen." You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like cooking food. I'm talking about like managerial duties. Like I don't believe that's possible. Like, how was she a prosecutor? A prosecutor of what?
Mm-hmm. Well, hang on a second.
Hang on a second. Uh-huh. Okay.
We have other prosecutors who are equally as incompetent. Can you name one? Fonnie Willis in Georgia.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So Kamala Harris is nothing but a Fonnie Willis from 20 years ago.
Okay. I got you. Fonnie Willis. Somehow I got. I'm pretty sure we showed something that it was copywritten. It took us off of YouTube, guys. If you're still watching this on another platform instead of ended the stream. But
the
yeah,
stream
so
on YouTube.
Yeah, for some reason.
Oh, that's fucking bullshit.
I'm pretty sure that it hit me. Did it hit me? Actually, I don't know. It may still be going. If not, y'all can catch the post game later. But yeah. So I mean, like if you're voting for it, it's just obvious that it's just complete hate for Trump. And I'm not saying folks should vote or you should like Trump or whatever, but it's just like in your heart of hearts, if you were going to go to the ballot and you were going to mark a name and you mark Kamala, it's just for the sheer fact that you absolutely hate Trump and you would rather, fall on the sword. You know what I'm saying? Than have Donald Trump in there.
Here's the deal, and I try to explain this to people because I don't like Trump. I'm not a Trump guy. He laundered money for the fucking mob. His lawyer was connected to the Kennedy assassination. The guy is not who he says he fucking is. I don't like the guy whatsoever. But he is the only thing standing between the communists taking over our fucking country. Period. The establishment hates this fucking guy for a reason. An enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's Trump.
Right.
Unfortunate. But Kamala gets in and we are all fucked. You're never going to see another Republican fucking president. Ever. Ever. They'll fix every election. They'll rig every system. So it's done if she gets in. Done.
And I can believe that.
And I don't like Trump. So there you go.
I can believe that. Yeah, there ain't no doubt about that. I can believe all of that. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna jump over into the final topic of the night, and it is: did you brave the storm? Now I know that we have a couple of people who watches. Chris watches us. He's in Florida, and Wheezy is Wheezy in Sarasota.
He had gone, yeah, but he went down to Miami for the hurricane.
Okay. So he did. So he did go down to Miami. Okay. So yeah. So we got a couple people in that area, and of course, Corey, you lived in Sarasota. All right. When you were there, did you have anything like this happen?
Yeah, I was in all kinds of
Any
hurricanes,
type of
but
destruction like this?
they were never that bad down in Sarasota ever. Once we had Hurricane Ivan up in Clearwater area, and that all it did was no one's house got destroyed, and it just knocked over some trees and light poles and stuff. I mean, you couldn't drive for a couple of days because they had to get the crews out there to get all the stuff out the street. But the funny thing about that one was like everyone lost power except my apartment fucking complex. My apartment complex never lost power ever for some weird fucking reason. But everyone around us lost power. The mall lost power, and we had TV the whole time, so it was good. I was in the police academy at the time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when that was going on.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, but it looks like Sarasota got hit hard. Now they
My buddy's down there.
It looks like the front end.
I got a friend who lives like
okay.
inland about a couple miles, inland 4 or 5 miles, maybe not that far, 3 or 4 miles, and he's his house is fine. He said some trees knocked down and a fence knocked down, but the house held up. Everyone was good. He said no big damage in his neighborhood, so most of Sarasota I think turned out okay.
Now is your sister down in that area?
She's in Tallahassee.
Okay. Oh, she's in Tallahassee. So she got hit by Helene, right?
Yeah, nothing too bad. Same, like they had a tree knocked down and some fencing issues, and that was it.
Yeah. Now we had some. They had Tropicana Field, which was going to be like a haven, but the entire roof got ripped off of that. On the back end.
That's a soft
of
roof.
The hurricane. Looks like the actual.
It's not a hard roof. It's a soft roof. It's like a canvas roof that I think they could retract it if they wanted to. I think it was one of those deals. So, but yeah, it got fucking shredded. Nobody was. But the thing about the governor is, before all that damage even hit, they kind of anticipated that, and all that stuff set up in there wasn't set up for shelter for people to come to. That was all set up for first responders to as a central home base, so they could crash there and then get up. They had all those cots set up there, and DeSantis was able to relocate them to another facility before that even happened. So that worked out pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like their response was pretty good. A lot of people left, but there was a few people who stuck around and waited it out. I seen there was guys out there.
Lieutenant Dan,
driving
you
their
seen
car.
Lieutenant Dan?
Now that's what I was going to talk about right here shortly. There was a dude out there. He was doing donuts in the parking lot during the damn storm. Who did Anderson Cooper piss off? Did they send him back in the field?
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Yeah, they sent old Anderson back there in the field. He out there got debris hitting him in the face. I had a guy was outside. I'm talking about in the middle of the wind. He was taking a dab out there. So I don't know if you ever if you heard of this or if you ever did it, but hurricane parties. Were you ever a part of any of this?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, who the fuck would do that?
Maybe that was just me doing. It's a college date, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Whenever we heard, oh yeah, there's a hurricane coming, and they're like, oh, we're canceling class for tomorrow. It's like time to go get a keg. I mean, to be honest with you, that's like what we did. We went picking up a keg. It's like it's time to go. There ain't no doubt about it. But for guys out there who don't know or hadn't seen this gentleman, Lieutenant Dan. He's a guy out there. Of course, he's got one leg. Lieutenant Dan didn't have no legs, if I'm correct.
Right.
And thank God that they're making a second movie for Corey.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Forrest Gump 2. I'm pretty sure it's going to be an immaculate movie. No doubt about that. But we got Lieutenant Dan right out here. And this is a gentleman. We're gonna let him speak.
All right, Lieutenant Dan. The people have been asking you to set you up a GoFundMe, so that's what I did. The link's in the bio. What do you want to say to everyone that's been supporting you along the way?
I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And if you're starting to GoFundMe, I'm going to tell you what the money is going to be used for. I'm upgrading. I need a bigger boat. I really want something like 35 foot. That was the last boat that I lived on. I only bought this because it was in my price range. I was on Social Security disability. They come after 22 years and said I'm no longer disabled. I used to get a check every month. Now I don't get nothing. I have no income. and I'm being blessed every day. Where God says our daily bread. Every day somebody will give me something, so I don't go hungry, and I got everything. You know, it's just, God is good, and you people are all angels. So you're working for Him. He ain't asking for much. Tithe you 10%. Instead of giving it to the church, give it to me.
Awesome, guys. If you want to help out, I put the link in the bio. Let's get Lieutenant Dan a new vessel here and get his legs back so we can get buzzing again. Let's go, baby.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks, everyone. All right.
So that's old Lieutenant Dan. Now, supposedly he has a pass full of arrests, supposedly allegations of assault and things of
Well,
that
the biggest
nature.
allegation of them all is that ain't really his boat.
Yeah. That he copped it off with somebody. Now, Corey, I don't know if you've seen this, but Aiden Ross had contacted Lieutenant Dan and told him that if he was able to brave this storm, he would give him $100,000, get him a new boat, and get him a kick deal
Okay, so
for $2 million.
life isn't fair at all.
$2 million kick
So
deal.
let me see what happens if he set him a contract like that, and he said if and then he goes out in the storm and dies. What happens to Mr. Ross?
Well, I mean, that's nothing.
Criminal. That's some criminal negligence. They're gonna go through every book to find charges to put on you if you do that. Like if you pay someone to do some dumb shit, if you pay someone $100,000, and hey, if you lay down in the road when that Mack truck comes and let it roll road over you, like you lay in the middle and it goes right over top of you and you survive, I'll give you $100,000. And then that person dies. Guess who's going to prison forever? You. So he's been offered
like that.
He got offered a $2 million kick deal.
Yeah. No, Aiden said he was going to get him the kick deal. He guaranteed to get him the kick
guys
deal.
Just have money to burn? Give me a $2 million deal.
Yeah, I guess so. This looks like their live stream. And look at this. The Hawk Tour girl, she just signed a $5 million kick deal.
Is Lieutenant Dan Jewish? I have a feeling
He might be.
Yeah, it's starting to make sense.
Man said he might be Jewish. It said, my goodness, bud. Look, man, this shit ain't right. That's all I'm saying. And they got a bunch of arrests of him, and damn, he's been arrested twice in Sarasota. How many times in Palm Beach? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times in Palm Beach, Broward. I mean, and after all this, he's about to get a kick deal for $2 million. And Aiden Ross is going to pay $100,000 to get him another boat. I'm just like, you see, when people see stuff like that, and then you see some motivator talking about, oh, go out there and work hard. They're like, for what, man? This jig just got $2 million for doing something stupid. What he did was literally stupid. Okay? It's like one of the dumbest things you can do. I'm gonna be in this little sailboat while a Cat 3 hurricane's coming through. That's like one of the dumbest things you can do. And somehow he survived it. All right, it didn't do like the other people. Let me actually bring up, because in other places, I don't know if this was Sarasota or not, but in other places, yeah, here we go. Where's this at? Grove City and Minnesota. How close is that to Sarasota? You know those right offhand.
So that is really Sarasota touches Bradenton, and so if you go up the coast, US 41, to where you can look to the left and see the water, it becomes Bradenton, and right where it meets, people consider Minnesota. So yeah, it's right there, very north Sarasota.
Okay. But this is what they got out there, bro. I mean, they got straight up boats thrown in folks' houses. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that Tampa was still hit, but I think it kind of tailed off a little bit and didn't get the direct. Yeah. So this could have been Dan. Now you see the size of this boat right here, and this is way bigger than what Dan was on. Okay, so I mean, it's like this shit slung right to the house. I seen another one where there was like 3 or 4 boats slung down the road. There was a crane that fell on one of the buildings, I think in Tampa. Where was that at? Yeah, it was right in Tampa. And there was a bunch of people out there driving during the middle of it. Somebody even recorded damn alligator jumped out the damn water and bit their tire as they were driving. I guess that's one of the things you got to be wary of if you're out there in that water. Another dude, he tried to walk in his house and the alligator was right there in the middle of his kitchen.
Yeah.
So the fact that people are able to capitalize off stupidity is it's kind of the reason why you see most of Gen Z want to become influencers, because they see that whole path and how much money you're able to get if you're able to garner a following.
Look,
and so I don't know if that's good or bad for our future. Probably not.
To all
good.
the young ladies out there who are thinking about becoming an influencer, don't. Do the world a favor and just go out and be a prostitute like every other one should, and you'll be just fine, okay? And guys, just go to college or be a blacksmith or something. That's my life advice.
I mean, you said that with no emotion, straight faces. Lady, just become a hooker and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, they're cornering that market now. That market's fully cornered. There ain't no doubt about that. But it's okay though, because they're solely profiting, and a man's not profiting. As long as a man's not profiting, then it's okay. It's empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
That's how this thing works. So that's the way it works. So we got old Lieutenant Dan. We hope everybody out there is okay. They only said the death toll so far was like 12, which is which I guess most people got out of there, out of that area. Have when you were there, you probably didn't have any storms this size, did you? Cat 3s.
Yeah, I mean there were some, but they never really. The thing is, they always went around us. Like that part of the bay, when the storms come up, they usually come up from the opposite direction. They don't usually come from the west. They come from the east or the south, and they go up. And that area, just because of where it's positioned, is 95% of the time like fine. You'll get some wind and trees knocked down and stuff, but you don't get like the widespread damage. Like they didn't get anything in Florida. Like even that damage you saw, that was the worst of it. They didn't get anything like what happened in Asheville. Not even close.
Right.
But just to put it into context, everybody who fucking thinks that Asheville was something special, the same exact thing happened to Asheville in 1960. Okay, a fucking hurricane destroyed Asheville in 1916. There's pictures, you can go online and look at it. They say that the storms are getting worse. They're not getting worse. It's ridiculous. So global warming, hoax. There you go.
I don't know. There was a man up there that told me that what was it? That our fossil fuels had heated the water in the Gulf up to 80 degrees and all this
This is
stuff.
the dumbest shit ever. These people are fucking communists. These people need to be put in re-education camps.
But that's what he was saying.
Let me make this really fucking clear.
That's why
90%, 97% of all carbon emissions are natural, meaning not from us. You know what that means? Also, in the last year or so, year and a half, there have been 4 volcanoes that went off. The combined amount of carbon dioxide that those 4 volcanoes put out was more than all of human history combined. So I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about fucking my tin can or none of this bullshit, okay? Like, fuck you. You fucking communist, goddamn propagandist. Like, fuck all the global warming people.
Okay. I mean, oh man, but that's some good stuff right there. So hey, we're glad that Weiss is okay. Hopefully Chris is okay. I know he usually watches us. Everybody else, it doesn't look like it looks like it's going to be an easy, which quote unquote easier recovery for them after this storm. It actually looks like the back end is what actually hit them hard. The front end actually didn't do that much damage. The back end is what really got them, and I'm assuming because that all that the back end was still out at sea and able to garner up enough, maybe some extra force. But somebody was showing me flight patterns on the Helene one, and it does seem like they sent a plane inside of Helene, and it had a flight pattern inside of it when it was down there in Florida. I don't know if you've seen that or not. Did you see that?
No.
You did see it?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Buddy at work was actually showing me that. Like it literally like it flew into the hurricane and just kept flying around it on the inside. I'm guessing at the eye of it. And then it left. And then like the next day it just did a direct flight to Florida and back. So people will speculate on what's going on there, geoengineering, things of that nature. Are they trying to make the storm, more powerful and things of that nature? I mean, we don't really know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Storm trackers and things of that
We
nature.
know they've had these programs in the past to do this kind of stuff, but is it actually what's happening? Who the fuck knows? It definitely ain't global warming.
Right. Of course, I just want to lay that to rest. So let us know y'all's thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. If you stayed in the Florida area where it was impacted, how'd you make it out? I've seen a lot of people had broken glass, had stuff come through their roofs. So hopefully they're okay. What was it? A whole crane fell on. I think it was the Bank of America building. Like it was. So like the back end was actually what did a whole lot of the damage. So, let us know y'all's thoughts. If you made it out all right, if you got family down there, and we appreciate everybody for checking us on this episode of Beyond the Cube. We're gonna be back with you next Tuesday with another episode of Showtime with the Cube as we continue to cover The Penguin. All right, which is a great TV series. If you've not started watching it yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. There's 3 hours of goodness out right now. Okay, so go ahead and check that stuff out. Of course, go to CoreyHughes.org, bloodyhistory.substack, the best historian on the internet, best JFK historian on the interwebs. Okay, maybe ever. All right. And go buy his book, A Warning from History. All right. Corey, I think you just put out a recent episode, Understanding Propaganda, didn't you?
I did.
You put out a propaganda episode.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did. So go fucking listen.
So, and I know you said you were on some. You've been on some shows.
Well,
you were on some other shows today, right?
I did Charlie's show today, and I got another show tomorrow with the Nephilim Death Squad, whoever they are. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you'll have all those links in your on CoreyHughes.org, right?
Yeah.
To check all that stuff out. Okay, yep. So make sure you go check that stuff out from Corey. So, of course, all my stuff, xq420.com. Make sure you're checking us out on Day Zero, Sundays, 5 p.m. Eastern. From your boy XQ420, from the powerful one, Corey Hughes. We'll catch you on the next Showtime with the Cube. Peace out.
Oh, it's Beyond the Cube.
Oh, shit, Beyond the Cube. Yeah, and Showtime. Peace out. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. Am I stuck at 99?